Hey, this is Evan D. from the dailynerd.net tech blog, in what I hope to be the first of many videos that I'm going to be doing throughout this year. Um, Today's video is going to be about hosting. Over the next month or so, I'm going to do videos about a variety of different hosting options that I've used over the years, and kind of do a review of 3 or 4 of them. Haven't exactly decided how many to do. And then kind of give some tips and tricks on what I've found works best for different hosting companies, different setups, and some basic usage, show off some features and whatnot of different hostings, mostly for people who have never used this type of hosting before, or for their first time moving out from a wordpress.com free blog or a blogger or something, doing kind of their first hosting project, and really don't know where to even start. So the first video today is going to be with Hostmonster. Hostmonster is my example of shared hosting. It's kind of where you enter into the field of hosting your own website on your own hosting. And it's a pretty good option for a lot of things. Shared hosting is very cheap. You should not pay more than $5 to $6 a month for shared hosting. That's what you can usually get Hostmonster or Bluehost for. If you can't find that price, go to Google, search for Hostmonster coupon code or something. It'll give you a link. You should be able to get it for $4.95 to $5.95 a month, with the right link that you click on. And of course, you'll have to buy it a whole year at a time. But committing to a whole year of hosting your website isn't a bad deal at all. So, anyways, let's get into this. Hostmonster, Bluehost, I'm going to get them mixed up a lot. They're nearly identical setups. To the best of my knowledge, both companies actually reside in the same data center in Provo, Utah. I don't know if they're actually owned by the same company, but I would suspect so. So their setups are going to be very similar. They have very similar pricing. And what you're seeing here is a basic cPanel layout. If you log in, when you get your credentials after buying it, you've got your cPanel, your domain manager upgrades, a bunch of fluff up here they've kind of added. Your billing login, though, is handy. And your right column here is all of the tools, settings, and options for your shared hosting account. So I've kind of reorganized mine so your boxes might be in a little different order, excuse me. But the basic premise is we've got tools here to edit the files on our shared host. We've got a file manager. We can use FTP accounts, do automatic backups, things like that. We can set up mail forwarders. We could sign up for some Postini premium anti-spam. We have some promotional marketing items here, some preferences I've never really had to use. Logs for Apache, Webalizer if you turn it on. You'll see your PHP logs in there if you're using PHP. We have some security settings down here if you need to load an SSL cert or something for your website, if you're doing anything secure. We can manage our domains, registering, transferring, adding on domains, editing DNS records if you're going to use them for DNS. We also have databases. This is one of the things I like about Hostmonster and Bluehost, is that they allow PostgreSQL, which not all shared hosting providers will. It's something that when I went to HostGator a number of months ago, I was disappointed they did not have PostgreSQL, and I'd basically have to upgrade to a $50 a month package instead of $50 a year to get PostgreSQL there. So if you need PostgreSQL, if you have a custom application or something that just requires it, this is a nice little feature add for your $60 a year hosting. And then the last box down here that really matters is configurations for Perl, PHP, Ruby, and our simple scripts. And simple scripts is basically a third-party website that most purveyors of shared hosting are going to give you access to, that allows you to install a bunch of basic web frameworks like WordPress, Joomla, Mambo, PHP bulletin boards, Drupal, all that kind of stuff you can install with just a couple of clicks. Makes the installation process a lot easier. So I'll go through a couple of these items in case anyone hasn't used a cPanel before. Here we have a file manager. It'll allow us to edit different directories or whatnot. I'm just going to go into the document root for one of the websites I'm hosting here. And it comes up with something that's fairly familiar for anyone who's used Windows Explorer or Finder in OS 10. And we've got folders, files, and some basic ability to copy files, upload files, delete files, and edit, change permissions, etc. And it's not the most full-featured thing ever, and it's not the fastest way for moving, say, a large quantity of files. FTP would probably be a lot quicker. But if I just need to get in here and go to my themes, just my default theme, check out my CSS, and I need to edit the CSS for the front of my website real quick, I can hit the edit button up here, and it's just going to open a very, very basic text editor. But you know what? I can get my stuff done. I don't have to load up an FTP client and copy it over to my hard drive, open it with Notepad++ or TextMate or whatever you're using. So for quick little editing, it's not bad. They also have this code editor, which will automatically try to highlight the code, like TextMate or Notepad++ or Vim or whatever your text editor of choice, Nano, might be. I've had some iffiness with their code editor from time to time. Sometimes it freaks out and doesn't want to highlight properly. You'll see shadowing, like doubling of text and whatnot. So I usually just go with the basic text editor. But if you like the color, by all means, give it a try. And that's really it. And for a lot of people, that's all you need to do to get your website up and going. Let me back out of here real quick. I'm not really going to go into email. It's not something I wouldn't have my email going to Hostmonster. I'd run it to Google Apps or something. I'll probably do a video on that maybe next week if I've got the time. And logs. One downside to share hosting is you get whatever log access they really give you. And Hostmonster only gives you about 200 or 300 lines of logs at a time, which isn't always enough. I've had some web frameworks I was using where, to load one page, if I was having a serious problem, it was the buffer of the logs was filling up with every page load. So, you take what you can get, but that's really what shared hosting is about. You get the minimum feature set that you really need to be able to get a WordPress blog or a forum or maybe even a simple e-commerce site up really quick and really cheap. And those are the pros for this hosting. Cheap, quick setup, easy to use. Anyone should be able to come in here, come down to simple scripts and install WordPress in literally 2-3 minutes and that's considering you have to come up with a password. What you don't get with shared hosting is you're really locked into the confines of whatever they make available. You got to make sure that whatever software that you want to use is compatible with whatever Apache they're using, their PHP config, whatever version of Ruby they're using. You can't really go outside the framework of what they have here because it's all shared across. They've probably got dozens of accounts per box, and there's only one version of Ruby or Rails installed on that whole box. So also uptime. I haven't had huge problems with Hostmonster, but my site's probably been down for I would say 8 to 10 hours over the course of 2010, which isn't huge. I think I haven't done the exact math, but I think you're still looking at 99.8 or 99.9, which isn't bad. But again, you're getting what you pay for. You might be able to get a higher reliability with something that costs more than $60 a year. But It's definitely an easy way if you want to put AdSense on your blog, and you've got a WordPress blog you want to migrate, or heck, you just want to try coding for your first time and put something up on the internet that you can show all your friends. For $60 a year, Hostmonster, Bluehost, any of those out there that'll give you some cheap shared hosting is a decent way to go. So that's all I'm going to touch on about shared hosting. In my next video, I'm probably going to go over VPS hosting and kind of the pros and cons of that. And if you guys have any questions for me, any questions about shared hosting or VPS hosting, so I can roll those into tomorrow's video, put them in the comments or on YouTube or on my blog, and I will get back to you. Thank you so much.